I'm about to share something that is quite uncomfortable, difficult, in fact. Um, and maybe that's a warning to anyone who's watching this, that if you feel that you are not in a state or space in which you can handle something uncomfortable, maybe stop watching or come back another time to watch this. Okay, as part of my meditation this morning, something came up for me. I remembered things from my childhood that I had not thought of in a very long time. And they were about being abused. Now, before you get too concerned, it wasn't any kind of sexual abuse at all. Nothing like that. But it was abuse nonetheless. And as I'm talking about it now, or about to talk about it, I have to ask myself, what do I mean by abuse? You know, what do people generally mean by abuse, and what do I personally mean by abuse? So in my case, as I recall these three moments or periods, they weren't just single or singular moments. They were periods of time over which I had not been treated well. I had been treated very badly, actually, and by very close family members. And before I go on, I want to say that, you know, a lot has transpired since then and the current day. And we all have a much healthier and truly, to the best that we are capable of, a truly loving relationship. Truly loving relationships. So this happened when I was very little, and like I said, over periods of time and different periods of time in my life. And I don't wish to go into the details. I mean, I don't think that that is necessary. But what I realized as I was reminded of these, and as I allowed those memories to seep back up through my consciousness, what was common, I believe, in all of them was that I had become the site, my body, the person that I was, the child that I was, had become the site for the venting of their rage, their hidden, seething rage, for their sense of powerlessness, perhaps, since I was the youngest and they were all considerably older than me. And I just want to say here, this is not about, you know, bringing up old wounds, but more about realizations, having realizations that I think are really helpful in the end. And so, as I said, this person that I was, this child that I was, became the site for the place where their anger, their outrage, their sense of powerlessness, their insecurities perhaps, their need for some kind of retribution, the child that I was, that became the site for this to be enacted. You know, not an easy thing to become aware of, but there you go. Um, I want to say that, I don't feel any ill will toward them. I honestly don't. Back then, I was mortified. I was terrified. I was deeply, deeply hurt, wondering why anyone would want to inflict such pain on me. What had I done? You know, back then, that was the overriding thought and the feelings that went with it. This helplessness and anger, even rage, perhaps. But I think more than anything else, I think that the strongest emotion was the feeling of what had I done that was so bad, that made me so bad or so wrong, that there was this need to inflict this terrible pain on me. I'm laughing now. I mean, I'm laughing. And I don't think I'm laughing because I find it humorous. I'm laughing because I suppose that's just the way sometimes we release tension, right? and sometimes I will say I do laugh because I'm laughing at myself in a sense, or at not so much myself, but at with relief, at, wow, I've survived, I'm here, I'm good. It didn't kill me. I love this quote by Nietzsche. He said, anything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And boy, oh boy, do I know that to be true in my life. I mean, there were times, of course, when I felt that I was done for. This was it. I couldn't take any more, but by golly, And I'll talk about that another time. But today I just want to talk about this realization of how I'd become a kind of punching bag for others. And I want to say that I honestly, deeply, at the very core of me, also know that at any given moment people are doing the best they can, even if in that moment they are doing something heinous and just indescribably grotesque and gruesome. They're really, I know it is hard for us to accept this, but I really do believe that in any given moment, people are doing the best they can. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I'm not going to condone what they do, but I just know that I breathe better and I remain open to life and to love when I accept that truth. So, gosh, I was going to say a little bit more, but I think I've said enough for now. If you're watching this and you feel that you know, I I have left things up in the air. I've kind of, you know, set a fire alight, and you know, it's going to rage on, and I've not done anything to contain it or stop it. I do apologize, because I can know what that feels like when something is unfinished. It's left there, so to speak. But I just would like to say this. Sometimes, you know, as much as we want closure or resolution or an answer, sometimes the answer, and I know this is going to sound so cliche, but sometimes the answer is best left to reveal itself within the questions that we ask ourselves and we ask of life. And I'm hoping that what I've said here might be, you know, a question, might raise questions for you, which, given space, given gentle, not forceful, but gentle, kind, compassionate attention and awareness, will reveal what might amount to an answer or a landing place where we can feel once again at ease and at peace within ourselves and with the world. I'm hoping. And if you're watching this and you'd like to share your personal outrage or powerlessness or whatever it is that this might have aroused within you, please feel free to share in a comment. And wherever you are, may you find the peace that is always there, always. Thank you, and bye for now.